We definitely got to record this. All right. We're 11 minutes in. Sorry, YouTube. Twitch was getting the good stuff. Not really. 11 minutes in, and we have come to realize that the parlays that people are losing are going towards the taxes. You know what? We're just going to rewind it a little bit. I'm going to show you. Here we go.
Anyone can farm their followers and fans for money. You don't have to be particularly sophisticated. And that's actually how Trump made millions of dollars in fees with Trump meme coin without ever selling. He just farmed the fees. And to be clear, this money doesn't magically appear. It's being siphoned away from regular people who mostly lose. It creates a sad ecosystem where most creators are racing to the bottom for attention to get their audiences to pump their worthless coins, leading to a predictable spiral where most are scamming, rage baiting, or otherwise trying to shock each other into becoming the biggest grift of the day.
Hi. Gupsy got drained.
Thanks for the 20 bandos.
It's ripping.
What?
If you've ever heard of a zero-sum game where someone has to win for the other one to lose, meme coins are negative sum because of all the trading fees. Most people, by definition, will lose. The real winner, of course, is pump.fun and people pushing it. According to one analysis, they've generated revenues of over $800 million for themselves, while almost none of the traders have made significant profits.
So you're telling me that people are sitting here putting money into trades, investments, gambling about parlays, meme coins, all this stuff. If you lose money, it goes to them. If you lose money, it goes to them. If you win money, it goes to you, but them as well. Because now it's like, oh, we're winning. And you want to post it, you want to talk about it. And then people want to get into it. Which means they're liable to get more people to lose than win. So if, let's just magic number here. If 30% of the people win and 70% of the people lose, that guarantees you a 70% profit all the time, which goes back to this number. 800 million, by the way. Close to, we can round it up and say 900 million. $900 million has gone to the winners. And when I say winners, that's the 30%. That's the corporations. That's the people who have insider trading, who are investors into the company. So it's like they're not really losing. They're more so just like, oh, yeah. Oh, man, I lost some money. But really, you didn't lose any money because the money goes right back into your pockets. Same way, if you have another coin or you have something else, the gambling and all those other fees, it just goes into their taxes. And then they just refunnel it. So it's not a scam. It's right in your face. If you lose, you lose. But you don't know where the money's going because you're not asking, where's my money going? Your money's going to them. Oh, wow. Wow. So you're paying like a subscription fee, even though you're not subscribed to gambling. It's a subscription fee. Huh.
$800 million for themselves, while almost none of the traders have made significant profits. According to one analysis, 0.4% of all traders will ever make over $10,000.
If you've realized $1 million trading pump funds, what? Okay. If you've realized $1 million trading pump funds, you're at, what is that? 0.00217% of wallet. If you've realized, if you've earned, I guess. Huh.
So almost no one. And look, the reason we're going through all of this is to explain the many ways that gambling is no longer just about slots, cards, brick and mortar casinos. We've injected it into every conceivable aspect of our lives. And that has two effects. One, it's inescapable. You cannot avoid gambling by avoiding Vegas anymore. It's literally everywhere.
Yeah.
And then two, it's also harder to understand and study because most researchers are studying like casinos, sports betting, But so much of gambling is not that anymore. So as we get to the numbers of this stuff, remember, everything's going to be an undercount. But it is still important to talk about those casinos, and that's where we're going to shift now. Starting with the biggest trend that has happened for these casinos, and number 2 on our reason, which is sports gambling becoming legalized. Rewind the clocks for a second back to 2018 when the Supreme Court overturned a federal ban.
A federal ban. Federal. Fed. The feds said no. We don't want you betting on sports. We don't want you involved in sports. It was only allowed in Nevada, Las Vegas. All right, let's continue.
At the time, basically, you could only sports bet in Nevada. But after this, you can see in a few years, we completely flipped on the issue. Most states now allow sports betting. And along with that,
2025, we got New Mexico. Oh, is that Washington, Utah? I'm guessing here. Nevada, New Mexico, Colorado, Arizona, Michigan, Wisconsin, Ohio, North and South Dakota, Wyoming, Kansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Florida, Tennessee, Kentucky, West Virginia, no, North Carolina. Actually, this is South Carolina, right? Yeah, South Carolina, North Carolina, West Virginia, New York, Rhode Island. Wow. Well, I'm gonna be honest. They was gonna do that all anyways up here. They was like, yeah, we gotta hurry it up. We gotta get it over here. You know how much money come through this area? They not missing out on nothing. I'm surprised California's not involved, but that's a good thing. That's a good thing. I'm surprised Texas is not involved, but that's a good thing. Really good thing. Because, hey, if you could do this stuff in Texas, boy, would the economy be in a different place. Same with California. They be like, you can do it in certain, like, if you go here, you can do it. If you go up, you can do it. Yeah, you go over, you can do it. You leave California, just go to Las Vegas. So that's not really anything. But if you could do it in California and in Texas, profit would be crazy. And the taxes these two states would have would be out of this world. I'm just being honest. Like, the taxes are already bad here. So imagine what it would be like once they start gambling. For real. On sports. Just sports. If you're a real gambler, you know you can do bet online or some other stuff, but I'm not going to get into that.
the advertising budgets for these companies is absolutely enormous. DraftKings, FanDuel, Underdog, Prize Picks, they've spent hundreds of millions of dollars getting celebrities and influencers to push their product every year, and man, has it worked. As I'm writing this, the #1 sports app on the App Store is not sports, it's not ESPN. ESPN and the NFL are second and third. The #1 sports app is actually DraftKings. And in the top 10,
hold on. Hey Siri, what's the #1 sports app? All right. Oh, so bad. The #1 sports app right now is Underdog, and then it goes ESPN, FanDuel, Prize Picks, DraftKings, New York Roadrunners, Better Picks Sportsbook, Sleeper, Fantasy Sports, NBA Live. Huh. The top 25 sports apps are mostly gambling. That's crazy.
half of those apps are sports betting, which is insane. There are two reasons for this. Obviously, one, hundreds of millions in advertising, but the second is what are called inducements, which is when these apps will incentivize players to download them and place a bet, sometimes literally offering what seems like free money.
He's got an NFL offer.
Don't play with me.
Just turned $5 into $150 in bonus bets.
New customers bet $5, get $300 in bonus bets if you win.
New customers get risk-free bets up to $2,000.
Now look,
It's not risk-free. It's if you're free to risk it. Remember that. I keep telling you, it's no such thing as free, baby. It's no such thing as free. If Bungie has taught me one thing, it is not free to play. It is, are you free to play? It's not the gambling's risk-free. It is, are you free to risk your money, baby? Come on, talk to him nice or don't talk to him at all.
reason casinos do this is kind of obvious. If they can make you place one bet, they're more likely to place the second, third, and 100th. But even setting aside the fine print of these weird offers, does it not strike anyone else as weird that we're allowing gambling companies to give away free stuff? Imagine the cigarette industry told you, buy your first pack, get 50 free packs free to get you started. Imagine Budweiser said, shotgun one, they'll send you a case for fun. It's insane. And yet,
shotgun one, get a case for fun. Shotgun one, get a case for fun. I like that.
that's exactly what these sports betting apps are doing. It's the lifeblood of how they get new players. And once you're in, these apps will also cater to their biggest players, biggest losers, called VIPs. They will send them gifts as they spend their life savings. And there have been multiple lawsuits actually about this. And to make it worse, if you do the opposite and you actually win too much on these apps, they will try to limit your betting, as one investigation found.
If you show any real ability to effectively handicap a game and beat the sports book, they will limit your bets and essentially kick you out of the sports book.
I know a dude, I was working with him, and he was winning too much. And they shut his account down. Bro hit he striked him for like 15,000. They said, yeah, we got to get him out of here. He's winning too much. It's like, wait a minute. I thought that was the whole premise of this thing, was to win. Nah, we don't want you to win. We want you to just sit on the app and spend money. You're supposed to win occasionally. You're not supposed to win all the time. That's crazy, bro.
They will not let you win. Can you talk to me a little bit about how sports books treat you once you start winning?
They don't want to accept your bets.
Yeah, it turns out the casinos actually hate the exact player that's featured in all of their advertisements. The guy who actually wins too much money. Which is actually so crooked when you think about it, that if you're one of the few people who achieves...
Hey, my boy Dylan. My boy Dylan that inspired a new arc. If you don't know, hold on. I'm in a whole different arc right now. I'm talking about my Apex stuff. But he inspired me to change how I've been acting. I've been very aggressive. Like these gamblers. Very aggressive, very... Gotta be a team player. Continue.
What they're promoting, they actually don't want you. Now, as I was writing this story, another massive scandal actually broke in the sports betting world, which is even more corrupt than not allowing winners.
But as you now know, individuals such as Chauncey Billups, Damon Jones, and Terry Rozier were taken into custody today. Former, current NBA players and coaches. What you don't know is that this is an illegal gambling operation and sports rigging operation that spanned the course of years.
That's right, the FBI just exposed a massive sports rigging scheme that was using these apps to win money on rigged basketball games. One example of this was March 23rd, 2023, when an NBA player, Terry Rozier, told a friend ahead of time that he was going to go out early on a foot injury. And so that night, $200,000 in bets were placed on his underperformance because no one else knew that he was injured. And a few minutes after Terry kind of limping around, he left the game and the bets paid off. A few days later, Terry Rozier and his friend allegedly counted the money at his house from the fraudulent wagering scheme. And
That's not exactly what happened. That's not exactly what happened. His friend had the money. He was probably at the house. He pulled, hey, bro, I got this money I won. I know he ain't sitting there counting. Like, we don't have video proof of him just sitting there counting $100,000. His homeboy won some money. He came by, showed him what he won, counted it. Like, we gotta,
This was one of several rigged games the FBI alleged, but the media was quick to point out this isn't even the first time someone was caught doing something like this.
Jonte Porter, who played for the Toronto Raptors, has already pled guilty. He's already pled guilty. He's awaiting sentencing for doing just what Rozier and Jones are accused of. So this train has already left the station, Laura. And I have to tell you, when Jeff Teague NBA player says, oh, there's betting everywhere. It is everywhere. I've done ads for DraftKings. LeBron James has done ads for DraftKings. In fact, ESPN, when they were reporting this story this morning, they're having programming, people talking just like you and me, talking about this scandal on the press conference the FBI was giving. And
Bottom right
underneath
corner.
them on the ticker was an ad for ESPN Bet, which is ESPN's own sportsbook.
Yeah, the irony of all of this is that the same people who condemn illegal betting going on are simultaneously pushing the sports books which create the opportunity. And at some point, the producers on ESPN actually noticed it. And see if you can spot the moment they try to fix the sportsbook ad in the corner.
You hear a lot about legal sports gambling on this show. The Bussin' Boys, obviously sports gambling is a huge part of what you do, so we put those all out there as a preamble because it might be in the back of people's minds, and we acknowledge that this is a different time and place. However, there is a fine...
Sorry. What the beep? Hey, run that back. I want to see that again.
Be in the back of people's minds, and we acknowledge that this is a different time and place. However, there is a fine line, not so fine. There is a bold line that obviously has to be drawn.
Well, that's a little awkward. You're actually supposed to remove the ad for sports betting before talking about sports rigging. And honestly, we've only hit the tip of the iceberg here because we've since learned these professional leagues are useless at catching this stuff. Turns out the NBA already investigated Terry Rozier before the FBI indictment for that exact game, and they cleared him because the NBA commissioner said there was insufficient evidence.
Ultimately concluded that there was insufficient evidence despite that aberrational behavior to move forward.
Right. So even with aberrational activity, they had the right game, the right guy, and the NBA couldn't find enough evidence. I mean, the more money that goes into sports betting, the more this will be a problem, and the leagues are clearly not equipped to handle it.
Nah, you know what happened? I don't think people know, but the NBA was about to get a new TV rights deal, and the last thing you really want to focus on is the fact that people are out here rigging games. You can't, that mess up the whole deal. I think the deal was worth like 75 billion. If you want to round it up, we can say 100 billion depending on, you know, what happens. But if I'm him, I'm like, I'm not talking about this. I'm not trying to mess up my profit. What? No, that's crazy.
But people just look the other way because the money's too good. And I want to now address the size of these betting markets because they're absolutely enormous in ways most people don't understand. And to get our heads around it, we're going to look at some survey numbers. One study estimates that 22% of all Americans and almost half of men my age have an online sports betting account. Another estimates that 1 in 4 people have placed a bet on sports and 1 in 5 have placed a bet in the last year. Like with all surveys, there's margins of error here, but the data mostly agrees. Sports betting is very widespread and extremely popular among young men. And for the ones who get addicted, it's financially devastating. One recent study looked at Americans' finances before and after sports betting was legalized by their state. They found that bankruptcy rates rise approximately 10% after legalization. Another paper looked at financial stability, noting that for households that do bet, they spend on average about $720 a year sports betting. And the study found that for every dollar someone deposits for betting, there's a reduction in net investments of just under $1. As people gamble more, they invest less, which means their financial future is worse. Makes sense. But this is especially true of problem gamblers or gambling addicts. To be clear, this is not something that affects all gamblers. Roughly 1% of the world population suffers from this. It's more common among people who bet regularly and bet online, two of the things that sports gambling encourages. Problem gambling completely obliterates people's finances and affects more than just the gambler, because as they beg, borrow, or steal to continue their addiction, they affect everyone around them. And I do mean steal. Roughly half of gambling addicts will commit a crime, and most of those crimes are to continue gambling, often leading to a spiral where the addict doesn't see a way out, which is why problem gambling has one of the highest suicide rates of any substance addictions. Full stop.
I don't get it. You know none of this matters, right?
Yeah.
You tried this before with Roobet, CS2, and it did nothing.
Yep.
No, literally, I mean nothing. Absolute silence. All the moralizing, the anti-gambling. You're wasting your time.
Yeah.
Side note, he's right though. You are wasting your time. And I'm not saying it's not worth it. It opens eyes, and then later on it'll open up and people are going to be like, "Oh my gosh, this is the problem." But here's the thing. We live in a society in America. I can't speak on outside of the countries, outside in other countries, but in America alone, we are in a society where you want to look a certain type of way, or you want to be a certain type of person, or you got to eat this kind of food to be this kind of person. Like, it's too many things that factor into how you are as a person. Gambling is technically cool. Same way smoking and drinking, dancing, partying, having, weaponry and all that stuff is cool. So to his, you know, it makes sense why people are like, I gotta gamble, I gotta gamble. But it also makes sense if you look at the economy and you look at just how we are as a people. We literally like complained to our government because an app was being taken away. I make money on this app. I do this. Understandable, but it's like there's no like real structure here. You want to wake up and just earn money. I feel it because I don't want to do the same thing myself, but I'm also like I gotta work. I You can sit around all day, and I promise you, you sit around and you just let's just say you earn $100,000 just sitting around for doing nothing. It sounds fun until you want to do something and you don't know how to do anything because you just sit around all day. Well, I just record myself and I make videos and I'm a content creator. All right, well, how are you around people? Can you hold a conversation without bringing up money, without bringing up some type of dollar amount, even if it's clothes, jewelry? Man, I flew across this place and did this. Like myself, I'll include myself into this. I've spent so much money on just people, just giving people money. And it's not something I've spoken about because it's like, it ain't really that big of a deal. I've won money from gambling. It's not that big of a deal to me. But there is someone out there right now who's like, man, I spend $200,000 on people all the time, bro. I'm cool like that. I give away to charity all the time, man. What? Yeah, I got ads on sports ads all the time, man. I got all types of betting ads. I'm on DraftKings. I'm on FanDuel. I'm on Underdog. I'm on Prize Picks. I'm on Sleeper. It's like, huh? Yeah, I go to this famous restaurant over here. I drive this kind of car. It's like, I got you. But the way everything is, it's not even like I've said like a lot. It's not even we are trying to not do it. It's so ingrained into the society. People can say, "Oh, that's just how one state is, so everybody's like that." Nah. If you go to Texas, everything's big in Texas. If you go to California, everything's low, slow, and cool. If you go to New York, everything's fast paced. If you go to Florida, everything's earth based. If you get like, you want to be in the swamps or the beach or in certain areas because you're surrounded by islanders. Everything, even in Georgia. Oh, I got that southern twang, that southern hospitality, a Georgia peach, a nice country girl, a nice country boy. It's like certain places have a certain thing about them, and it's like you want to be a part of it. Hotlanta, Detroit, Motown Records. Yeah, I'm turned up. I gotta make money out here. I gotta drive a nice car because it's forward out here. Like so many statuses in different places, and at the end of the day, all you really have to do is just be yourself. Let's continue.
Let me tell you a story. A year ago, I was offered $20,000 to do a video by casino. Now, I said no and made a whole series about it, but what I didn't tell you is that later I was offered $1 million to cover my legal fees in an ongoing case. Now, this was offered by a person who said they wanted to remain anonymous, no strings attached, very nice person. They said they wanted to just help out. Sounds great. But then I found out the money was coming from a sports betting company. They were one of the top people, and that's obviously a dilemma for me. I am publicly against gambling, and here this person's kind of privately telling me, well, gambling can pretty much solve all my problems. Pay my legal fees, they're telling me, oh, their company's regulated, it's fine, it's above board. Ultimately, I had to say no. Thank you for the offer, but, in my head, there's no such thing as $1 million, no strings attached. And, obviously, I also can't take $1 million from a sports betting company and then go make a video criticizing sports betting. But it gave me pause and kind of gave me an aha moment that I was missing before, where I started to understand exactly how screwed we are. And this goes into our third reason gambling is winning. The casual way these casinos can throw around life-changing money for any normal person is why the data will never fix this. It's why having enough sad facts about addicts or interviewing people whose lives were ruined will not change things. Believe me, I've done it, and it's never moved the needle. To be honest, it's not even debatable that gambling is kind of bad for most people and life-destroying for a few. Even the industry kind of admits that. But the reason gambling is everywhere in spite of that is there is too much money in the game benefiting the people.
I just said that.
That make the final decisions, right? Think about the states with tax revenue, the casino profits, the influencer payouts. There's a small group that gambling is incredible for. So incredible, it basically defies logic. I'm talking billions of dollars in profits. And if you want to understand why gambling is everywhere, you can't just look at the statistics. You have to look at the money. And I want to show you exactly how this works with an example. This is Matthew. He's better known online as Nadeshot, and recently he took a gambling deal with an offshore crypto casino. And when he first talks about the deal, I want you to notice it's a little strange. He almost seems hesitant.
Boys, we just partnered with Rootbet, and before I say anything, don't gamble, okay? You will lose. I promise you, you're gonna lose. But that's why I partnered with Rootbet, so they can pay me to gamble. So, even when I lose, I'm still gonna lose.
Yeah, it's pretty weird to hear someone say, don't gamble, guys, while announcing...
What did he just say? What did he... Hold on.
Even when I lose... So...
No, that's not what he said. I want to hear this.
Lose. But that's why I partnered with Rootbet, so they can pay me to gamble. So...
I'm going to put you up here. I'm going to put you up there.
Even when I lose, I'm still going to lose.
Yeah, it's pretty weird to hear someone say, don't gamble, guys, while announcing a partnership with a gambling company. Nadeshot implies that he may lose money, but in fact, he later admits that it's the most money he's ever been paid.
This is the biggest partnership that I've had in my entire career.
No, instead, I think the hesitancy, the weirdness of this video is because Nadeshot knows pushing gambling is kind of bad for people. He said so in a podcast a couple years ago.
I definitely think that people streaming on Twitch, all the crypto betting, certainly incentivizes younger kids to be more...
Hold your horses, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to switch it up. Hold on. Hold your horses. All right. We're good. Continue.
Interested in crypto gambling. Like, I know personally people that should not have been gambling online, but because it's so easy to gamble with crypto, they did it when they could not afford to do it, and it has not worked out well for them.
Right. Nadeshot knows personally it's bad. But for the reason why he's doing it anyways, just fast forward 2 minutes in the podcast and we find out because the host asks, a hypothetical. What if someone offered Nadeshot $100 million to promote gambling? And well, let's just say his tone changed.
I ain't turning down $100 million, bro. You got me fucked up, brother. I'll go on there and I will crypto gamble 24/7, dude. At that point, man, it's the parents' fault. Hey, I'm just working over here. You're going to pay me more than LeBron? Brother, I would be lighting up cash on fire gambling crypto.
You heard it here live here first, ladies and gentlemen. He can be bought.
I would sell my soul for 100 M's. Are you
wicked? All right.
kidding me, dude?
We should clip this. We should send this over to Kick.
I won't sleep. I will be your workhorse. You want me to pump blue chews and crypto gambling? I will do it all. You got me fucked up. Them kids, dude. Fuck them kids.
Look, I'm just going to say, you can say he's wrong for saying that. He's a bad person for saying that. But the reality is, this is why gambling is winning. The casinos have so much money, they are buying people's souls. Even people who kind of admit gambling's kind of bad. Put enough money on the table, and Nate Shot says, hey, fuck them kids. And by the way, speaking of fucking them kids, let's talk about Drake.
That's crazy. Yo!
W's in the shot.
It isn't just streamers or influencers taking deals. It's the biggest rapper on the planet. He signed a reported $100 million deal recently with Stake, the crypto casino, which is wild. There's really no endorsement deals like that anywhere else that hit those kind of numbers. And just like Nate Shot, Drake wants you to know that, even though he's taking the money, gambling isn't for everyone. Recently, he posted an $8 million loss, saying, gotta share the other side of gambling. Now, maybe some of you think that's brave, but to me, I see that and go, Drake, that is the only side of gambling for most people. If any normal person lost $8 million, their life is over and their legs are broken. You're the only one with another side to this whole thing.
Yep.
Where, to be clear, that other side is reportedly getting paid $100 million. And to be clear, like, it's a lot of people taking these deals. I'm not trying to single anyone out. Let's also take Kevin Hart, right? One of the world's smallest comedians. He pushes DraftKings. And this one I find really bizarre.
Do me a favor, man. Go to the DraftKings app. Look at what I'm betting on. Look at why I'm betting on. Place your bets. All the action is here. DraftKings, Kevin Hart.
I'm not even going to ask why Kevin needs you to get on DraftKings and bet. Like, the fact is he's worth a reported $450 million.
He's actually, I'm not going to say it.
But the real thing I find so gross about this is that Kevin Hart has gone on podcasts and talked about the need for financial literacy. He talked about this on Joe Rogan.
The biggest problem within our community is knowledge. We don't know. Debt is welcomed because it's celebrated. That's all we know.
You can't say that if you just told me to bet on draft book or whatever it is. You just told me to bet my draft.
The knowledge isn't given. So it's not till you obtain that knowledge and understanding.
He got the knowledge and told you to go gamble. Don't listen to this guy. He's a false prophet.
That you go, oh, oh, this is why you put money up.
Now, those same people will look at you and say, I was doing this for my kids. I was trying to change lives. I was trying to do this. No one man should have all that power. Y'all called him crazy, but no one man should have all that power. He's worth $700 million, asset-wise. Like, we not gonna, So it's like, you got the knowledge. You learned it. You sat there at the table. You soaked it all in. And you know what you did? This is what you did.
He pushes DraftKings. And this one I find really bizarre.
Do me a favor, man. Go to the DraftKings app. Look at what I'm betting on. Look at why I'm betting on. Place your...
Money getting low? Money getting low? All them houses and chains and cars and everything? You sitting here making fun of people on... Man, I'm trying to put y'all on. It's funny. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah. But 100, 200 million, 300 million, 400 million ain't enough. I'm just trying to change my life. I want to give knowledge. Don't gamble. I've done it, so I'm not going to sit here and say I haven't gambled before. But let me just say, this is how it gets bad. I was gambling, right? I'm going to fast forward a little bit. Hold on. Where was he at?
We don't know.
Yeah. There you go.
Debt knowledge isn't given.
All right. So, I was gambling. The last time I was gambling, I gambled on a Falcons game. Falcons lost. Whatever. Lost the Super Bowl. I turned around. I bet 500 on that game. I lost 500. It's not that much money. We're not really going to trip on it. I turn around and go to work that same week with like $400 in cash. Hey, who trying to race real quick? Not with cars. Feet. Who want to race? Who want to race? I got 200 right now. I lost $200. I've lost $700 in 24 hours. All right. Turned around. And what else did I bet on in that same time frame? Oh, I was sitting with a friend at a homecoming, and there's this game with like some money. I think I had like $2,000, $3,000 on me in cash, and you basically, I'm gonna show you. I don't have a bill on me right now, but you take the dollar. Nice. You take the dollar, and you basically want to flip it like, something like this, right? You flip this side like this, and you flip this side like this, and you say, "Get like me," and you flip it, and it go like heads or tails. If it land on this side, you get like me. If it land on this side, don't get like me. So if you get like me, you win my money. If you don't get like me, I win the money. We were going back and forth. I think the pot got to a point where it was at like $5,000, $10,000. And we looked at each other and we were like he owed me money. And then it flipped, and then I start losing. Then I owed him money. Then I flip, and I start winning. Then he owed me, like it kept going back and forth just like that. And it got to a point where it was like, bruh, I got it, but nah, we're not doing this. We were homeboys, so it was cool. But if I was in a different situation, and I'm like, get like me, or if I'm rolling dice or something, and it's a $10,000 pot, that other dude gonna want his money. He gonna be like, all right, I'm done. I want my money. Nah, I know we're gonna have a situation, rest in peace, Takeoff, and many other people that have been involved in gambling situations. This is just on the apps. So I'm like, it gets serious. Like if you real deal in the field and you really start, man, roll them up. Let's start gambling. You gonna start getting offended. Like, hold on, bro, you gonna start losing houses, cars, rings, clothes, jobs, all types of stuff. People gonna start pulling up to your job. Yeah, I need this for free. Sir, we can't. And then you gotta tell them, no, it's okay. He can do it. He can take that. I owe him. Yeah. Now your boss looking at what you mean? He owe you? Oh no, y'all gotta go. So I hear him. I really do. I hear this guy right here. Where is he? He's right there. But it's like, bro, you don't have to gamble. You don't have to. Everybody learns on their own time, but the one gamble you want to do is on yourself. And we'll get to that at the end of the video.
So it's not till you obtain that knowledge and understanding that you go, oh, this is why you put money up. This is how you increase versus decrease.
Look at his face. He just lying. He looked like he lying. He looked like a liar. I don't know. He just look like he lying right now. This looks like, oh, I'm lying.
Oh, this is how you earn on your money. Oh, wow.
Oh,
I can
lying.
gain wealth by investing in what? The stock world is what? How many people partake in the stock world? And is there a part that isn't necessarily gambling? Is there a low risk part?
Stocks are still gambles. Just putting that out there.
The information isn't there.
Yeah, Kev, maybe the information isn't there on the stock market part, which isn't gambling, because you're too busy telling them about actual gambling. Understand that Kevin Hart is not just a guy who sometimes talks about it on podcasts either. He has a whole partnership, an actual partnership with Chase Bank, where they ran a campaign to improve financial literacy. But then Kevin goes on the side and he's pushing DraftKings, which preys on people's financial illiteracy. And while we're talking about small comedians with big bank accounts, let's talk about Joe Rogan too. And listen, I'm not trying to be high and mighty with all this stuff. I know it sounds a bit like that, but believe me, I am eye level with these guys, okay? I'm very short too. You can't tell behind the $10 million studio desk, but no offense is intended here. We got to discuss, though, how the biggest comedians in the world, the biggest, smallest comedians, are pushing DraftKings. Didn't Joe get a $250 million deal from Spotify? I didn't realize before this video, like, how many gambling ads he has been running recently. In the month of September alone, there were 11 DraftKings ads in 14 videos. And with Joe especially, it's weird because he's the guy who rants against Big Pharma's manipulative advertising.
Yeah.
If you can advertise, you can manipulate people and change their opinion based on
false prophets. Say it with me. False prophets. All right, continue.
theatrics.
So many. Everyone gets a free bet. We all want to win. Hey, let's win together.
You know what to do. You have music and people dancing and holding hands and spinning around in a wheat field. Like, that is so manipulative. And we are subject to manipulation. And when it's something that is so important, like making critical health decisions, there's so many of these commercials. Like, so many times I'm watching television, I'm like, how many goddamn drug commercials are there?
By the way, I agree with him. We are being manipulated. But change a few words from that rant, and you could say the exact same thing about how gambling is pushed. Casinos are also manipulative. They don't advertise the actual reality where people lose. Instead, they say things like winning, cashing in, opportunity. And Joe Rogan's a part of that.
Every game is another chance to cash in. Don't just watch the action, win with it. Every snap is loaded with opportunity.
Almost took myself out. Yanked it all out my ear, man. I gotta get wireless.
That is just as manipulative as pharma ads pushing pills that may end up addicting you. In both cases, the collateral damage are the addicts we created along the way. And I guess I have to ask, maybe people think, oh.
Wait. I posted a video. What video did I just post? What video did I post? Yo! I posted. No, you can't make this up. I posted a video about gambling and said, hey, it's not right. This shit got removed. Oh, wow. I cursed. My fault, YouTube. Whatever. It got removed. You can't make this up. Nah. They trying to take my account out. And all I did was post a video. That's crazy. Do you agree with the decision to move? No, I disagree. That's crazy. Both of my videos have been removed for gambling because they're like, it makes too much money. And that's crazy. Yo. They removed my videos. Community guidelines violation. That's insane. Nah. You can't make it up. They don't want you. They want you to sit here and waste your money. Wow. So if you're brain dead and you don't, you're caught. Y'all are caught. You caught red-handed. You're caught red-handed. You don't even want people to speak out on it or speak up. Because I have been getting a lot of videos where people are like, hey, my parlay. I just asked the question and said, how do you feel about gambling? And they said, no, sir. We got to get that out of here. Oh. Wow. That's interesting. Okay.
One's worse than the other. Is there that much of a difference between a drug addict and a gambling addict? No, really, I'm asking.
It's like if you see the drug addict, you see him, he's shooting up or whatever it is, and you see him fainting, you go, oh, that poor bastard. But when you see a guy who's fully in the grips of gambling, trying to figure out how to get his money back, and he's all jazzed up with adrenaline, he doesn't understand why.
It's just like cocaine. It's just like drug abuse. It's just like the opiate problem. It's just like anything else. It could. You and I both know people who have lost their lives gambling. Okay, you've seen people in pool halls. You see how they get, Joe Rogan. Man. There's no difference in the drug addict and the gambling addict. Not at all. No difference.
So there is no difference. Then why do we shake our head at the Sackler family and pharmaceutical execs who push pills that ruin people's lives, but somehow nobody cares we're doing a very similar thing with gambling? At every level of society, we are shoving this down people's throats. And it's not that I mind if people gamble individually, but we are pushing it on people who otherwise would not have done it, because everything is gambling now, from sports to entertainment to investing. It is totally inescapable, and we're moving the casino from Vegas directly into people's pockets, connecting to their bank accounts. I don't know exactly how this is going to end, but it doesn't take a genius to see where it's going to lead. Gambling is going to be a much larger problem for people, and especially young men. And the saddest part is there's no amount of data or facts that I can give you that's going to stop that. There's just too much money at stake.
I reached out to Joe Rogan, Theo Vaughn, Bad Friends, Note, Kevin Hart, Drake, and Nate Shot for comment. Theo Vaughn and Note responded for comment. Regarding online sports betting. Regarding online sports books or winning cash on sports, we currently work with PrizePicks. Between us, I enjoy betting very mildly on sports. It makes the games more fun, but I'm also aware of the risk it can pose. Though probably not very knowledgeable because I haven't had those same exact issues. We make sure to follow guidelines from our sponsors, though it's worth being more intentional about emphasizing those risks to listeners. I feel like in the podcasting space, there is a decent amount of regulation in our ad reads, and I try to remember to advise our listeners that gambling may not be right for them, but I do often forget to do that, to be honest. Nelk, Cowles, Salem, and Steiny only affiliate themselves with legal platforms like PrizePicks and play by the rules. You're lying. You're lying. You're lying. You're lying.
Hey, come back to the bar and let me fix you a drink. The weather isn't changing anytime soon.
You know, all it would take is basic advertising rules or legislative change to put a stop to half of this stuff.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Money makes the world move, Coffee.
Yep.
And the people who write the rules like them just the way they are.
Do you really think it's worth all of this, though? Like, just for a little more money?
Hey, you said it yourself, didn't you? It's not just a little money. It's a lot more money. If people would sell their soul for $100 million, well, imagine what they do for billions.
You know, maybe it is time for that drink.
You're gonna tip this time, right?
Good video, man. Good video. He's onto some stuff. I'm not gonna lie. What are you supposed to do? What are you supposed to do in the moment that you wake up one day and I cut my hair. That's why it's so short. You wake up and everything's asking for money. Everything needs you to spend some sort of money. You know? What are you supposed to do? And I think we've reached a point in life where now it's not even that people run the world. Like I said, money. How much money can I spend? How much money can I earn? How much? You want me to do what? You want me to do this? All right, how much I'm gonna get? I bet. They're thinking, oh, I'm gonna have generational wealth. I'm gonna change my family's life. Great Britain owns 16% of the world. 16% of the earth is owned by one country and their family. And yet still, they still perished as a country. They still lost their value with the dollar and the pound. Like, let that sink in. Thank you for tuning in. And hopefully you don't fall victim to, gambling. That's the most I can say. Great video. Shout out to CoffeeZilla, man. Always.